What's going on, everybody? This is the Blockchain Backer, bringing you the latest cryptocurrency news and analysis. Today, we're going to be taking a quick peek over here at the Bitcoin price chart and the XRP price chart as supports continue to hold throughout the day after yesterday's sell-off in the market. We'll take a peek here over at the Dow Jones Industrial Average, which continues to rampage upward, now eclipsing April of 2022 as the 786 Fibonacci retracement continues to get taken out, and we see the highest Dow Jones Industrial Average since February of 2022. Also today, the Nasdaq has caught a nice bounce, up almost 1% so far today, heading into tomorrow's big day of FOMC, where the Federal Reserve is expected to raise interest rates by 0.25% to the federal funds rate, currently priced in at a 98.9% probability. We've studied that here on this channel, that the increase in interest rates historically has not been the bad thing for the market, nor has the pauses. It has actually been when cutting starts that usually is an indicator of something bad is on the horizon. That has been the case dating back to 2001 and 2000 when the rate cuts started back here. Our last three cutting cycles were all predecessors to bigger falls in the stock market coming. However, as we know, they did pause at the last meeting. It's expected they'll go ahead and add another 25 basis points to the federal funds rate, bumping us up to 5.25 to 5.5%. But the stock market seems to be ho-hum about it, as all Fibonacci retracement levels have been cleared on the Dow, on the Nasdaq, and on the S&P 500, which today has just barely set another new high above last week. But we're all still waiting for crypto to play along. Bitcoin having a little bit of a dumperooski yesterday, pulling us back down to the 50-day moving average. Now, in Markets in the Morning, I did bring this up, that we've been looking at corrections for several months on this channel. I've been talking about ABCs. You guys know it. We had a Twitter thread. We followed it from April through June. Then boom, we shot our way out of there after hitting into the green box. Historically, we backtest these levels. I'm uncertain that we'll need to do that, but we do see these have been the cases that they do get tested. So I'm open to it. But one thing that is interesting about where Bitcoin is at currently right now, sitting on top of the 50-day moving average, is that it is actually historically normal for us to go break the 50-day moving average and break through it and not break that 200. It's actually been okay to break the 100. And in our example that we keep referencing to, that actually dates back to right here before this market really got going. As we could see, we do take out the 50-day and the 100-day moving average. However, once bullishness kicks in, that 50-day moving average never gets broken. Even going back in here, 50-day moving average, like we talked about earlier this week, right throughout here, still that 50-day continues to hold. So as we sit on top of it right now, it is a point of interest of where we are in these aggressive uptrends. After these corrections, after these ABCs, when we start moving, those 50s tend to hold. So there's definitely a point of interest right here. I know there's a ton of negative sentiment in the cryptocurrency market. I have several metrics that I can look at, and then I can also look over there on Twitter. I can also see comments. I've always told you guys that I can always get a pretty good indicator from my side on how the sentiment of the market is. And I talked about that in Markets in the Morning this morning, that there is like a psychological effect that happens on our brain when really good things happen in markets and prices are moving up. We get like a dopamine hit. Our brain releases a bunch of feel-good drugs. And then as we come off of them and things calm down, it's natural to slip into this type of state. And I think we're really seeing that in the market. But I keep looking around at macro and seeing what's happening out here. So we're sitting on top of the 50-day moving average. It's historically a good place to look for some supports to come in. We're seeing the stock market just cranking right through all the retracement levels. We're finding supports near the bottom of ranges, and hate it or love it, we are still seeing some action in the crypto market over here with Dogecoin as people speculate on whether or not Elon's going to be using it over there on X.com, formerly Twitter. But after being stuck under it since April, going for a stab at the breakout on that 200-day moving average. As for XRP, after coming off of the most epic breakout and timed breakout, still in that same range. But like I've mentioned, I have things that I look at that I don't necessarily share all my little secrets on sentiment. But I could tell you, the sentiment in here was actually better than the sentiment up here. People are in the dumps here. And it's a very interesting phenomenon to witness. The good news is what we talked about yesterday. We're at the support levels. Now we've got some moving averages coming in here. We can look at this on different time frames, like the 1 hour time frame, and we can see the bullish divergences starting to emerge in here. On the 1 hour, notice that is the first one that we do have showing up in here as price reaches down to the lower boundary of this range. We can also see that over here on the 2 hour that we have a bullish divergence emerging in here, and over here in the 4 hour that as we get down to the bottom of the range, a bullish divergence starts to emerge while very, very oversold. So we're oversold at the bottom end of the range with a bullish divergence. And of course, we got a couple of little moving averages working for us in here. And the stochastic RSI on the 4 hour pointing straight back up after pulling all the way down, sitting on the floor. Boom, there we go. So things are calm as for now. The thing I like seeing about that happening and us hitting this range, of course, with the price action over there in the stock market is that we're also seeing a little bit of support there for Bitcoin at the same time. So I know coming off of yesterday, right when I started my live stream, you could sense the different things. Either like the live streams will start and everybody was like throwing up like, let's go emojis and let's go. Yesterday certainly started with, oh my gosh, is the sky falling? And while today we were hoping to see that things would just settle out, they did. We're on the moving averages. Now it's just time to get through this thing. And once we get through it, the market can kind of put that worry of uncertainty regarding this behind us. Otherwise, I always say, like, if you're like what I'm describing, and I know a lot of people are because I look at Twitter, if you're kind of struggling down here on the bottom end of this range, I challenge you to write an emotional log. And then as prices work their way back up, should they do so, I challenge you to write in it again, because I can promise I am not optimistic here, and I am optimistic here. Will be the most commonly thing written into a log. And what you'll find is that these are like psychological boundaries. And people do always say, you keep a level head through it. It's just having realized that this is kind of how it goes. So glad to see supports coming in. Let's get through tomorrow. Let's see if Bitcoin can hold that 50-day moving average. And if markets can maintain their optimism and hear what they want as we have the FOMC meeting. Until then, not a lot to say about crypto based off of what we had yesterday. Prices merely fell. Today, we're seeing the divergences. We see the supports holding today, trying to see if we can maintain that and turn ourselves around for a reversal. We haven't gotten reversals yet, but we are starting to see support start to come in. We see the macro picture of markets really continuing their march up, especially with the Dow Jones and the S&P. The NASDAQ is having a big day. It's actually having the biggest day out of all of them. It's just that the NASDAQ also had a bigger fall last week. So it's just trying to make up for what happened at the end of the week. Tomorrow will be a really busy day over here on the channel. We'll see if we can catch our reversals. There'll be markets in the morning. There'll be a video, and then we will live stream the press conference with Jerome Powell. So by the end of the day, you'll likely be sick of my voice. The good news is I will be off this weekend. I will be off Friday through Monday. So kind of getting a marathon here right before I go on a small break. Otherwise, we'll check on XRP tomorrow as we do have the bullish divergences with oversold price action down here on the moving average. We'll check on this tomorrow along with Bitcoin. But hey, little bit of hope to have some optimism here as we do see that 50-day can be reactionary. So I'll keep today brief. It's one of those days where price action hasn't changed much in crypto, but we could see on the indicators that there's some support here with bullish divergences emerging and moving averages on a lot of assets starting to hold. We can even see that the total market cap of all crypto still sits on top of all of the daily moving averages. So it's not like we've broken through them. It's more like we've just come down to touch them and we're still sitting on top. Now we're just waiting to see, can we turn this baby around? So we'll get through tomorrow. We'll get through this rate hike. We'll watch it live. We'll watch Bitcoin. We'll watch the Dow Jones live while Jerome Powell speaks. Those are always fun. Sometimes we can get some serious volatility to happen in the middle of them, and sometimes it can be a snooze fest too. Otherwise, I will catch you guys tomorrow. We'll keep it brief. Supports are holding throughout the day. Bullish divergences, moving averages. Now let's get through tomorrow and see how we do. But all right, guys, that's going to be it for this one. If you're looking for something to do, you can check out my website over here. That's bcbacker.com. This is a brand new course that I put together where I deep dive into the crypto market. I deep dive into indicators, tools, some of the most highly requested stuff such as Wyckoff method and Elliott wave theory. I've had a lot of requests to deep dive into that, along with going through a lot of the historical behavior of the crypto market, including 2021 and 2022. A lot of lessons that were learned and a lot of the market experience stuff that I've learned over the years, talking about inflation, market caps, crowd behavior, meme coins, and, well, the thing we all need, the thing that kind of matters the most, emotional management through all of it. Many of the sections also include PDF downloads, and there's a master file down here so you can print all of them out together. You can check that out here on bcbacker.com. Otherwise, I'll catch you guys tomorrow for the marathon day that we'll have together. Till then, I want to thank you so much for watching. If you could, please like this video and give it a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe and hit the notification bell so you could be notified of when I create new content and when I go live. As always, this is not investment advice, and I am not a financial advisor. But if you ever need a pick-me-up or a little bit of reassurance, just remember that the blockchain backers got your back. Have a good one.